Good afternoon folks, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with another review. Apologies for the delay. As I said briefly, I was away having my PC upgraded, some additional memory and bits and pieces. I've also been away in Canada for a few days, but I'm back now and hopefully normal service will resume. So back to today's review, which was requested by a subscriber, and it's out, so we're going to have a look at it. We are in Egypt, and we are in Hurghada. This is Hurghada International Airport, Hotel Echo Golf November. This is a payware scenery by the Flight Sim Development Group, or often known as Fsdg, and you're looking at the initial release version for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Again, no details about a version for Xbox. You have to see whether that comes out in the marketplace in due course. The download is 574 meg and it installs at 1.44 gigabytes. It's available from both Simmarket and Fsdg's own online store, and we'll go into that in a moment. I'll give you the Simmarket price. It's €25.20, which equates to roughly $27 US or £21.62 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are all estimates taken from the euro, and they do include VAT or tax, which may vary depending on your country of purchase. Now, before we go any further, the reason I've quoted the Simmarket price is because there is a difference. If you have purchased from Fsdg's own online store and have an account there like I have, for example, if you log into your account and select this scenery, you'll find that they automatically add VAT or tax at 69%, which certainly for UK citizens is wrong. The UK current VAT tax amount is 20%. So what that does, it increases the price from €25.20 up to nearly €35. When you first go into the FSD online shop store, it will show €24.99, but when you log in you will see that jumps to €35.49 with the 69% default tax that they add, which personally at the top of this review I would say makes it too expensive for me. Luckily we have the option to purchase it on Simmarket. Many people have an account there, and they've been around a long time, so I purchased this myself from Simmarket. I wasn't sent it. I purchased it because I do fly down here, have done in the past, and as I said, one of my subscribers wanted me to review it. So here we are, right on the top of the Red Sea, a very popular place for scuba divers and tourists alike, and as you can see from this high level shot, it sits really well. It sits really well indeed. Okay, so let's have a look at the features in this product. We have fully accurate rendition of Hurghada International Airport and surroundings, updated airport layout with the double runways and the new GA apron, several hotels, resorts, landmarks are included, additional rendition of the El Guana private airport, Hotel Echo Golf Oscar, ultra realistic light environment with interior modelling. We've got Flight Simulator 2020 technologies, which include dynamic lighting, reflective textures, etc. Compatible with all known add-ons, including GSX, and there's a manual included, which is good, and very few product developers include much of a manual. Sometimes you get a README file, but this one there's a manual included too. Great, so there are the features. That's my introduction. Let's have a quick look at a bit of history. Okay, so history. Hurghada International Airport, Hotel Echo Golf November, is a public-use international airport owned and operated by the Egyptian government, and is the main international airport of the city of Hurghada on Egypt's Red Sea coast. A favourite scuba diving and vacation hotspot for tourists from Europe and farther afield, the airport itself is located 3.1 miles or 5 kilometres inland and southeast of El Dahar, the downtown area of Hurghada. It is the second busiest airport in Egypt after Cairo, and is an important destination for leisure flights mainly from Europe. The airport currently sports two passenger terminals, Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. Construction of the new terminal complex, which cost over $335 million US, which was mainly financed by the Arab Fund for Economic Development. Egypt's Minister for Aviation, Hussam Kamal, said that the airport would have the capacity to host up to 13 million visitors annually. The project was inaugurated by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in December 2014. The newer terminal has a total area of 990,280 square feet, or 92,000 square meters, on 3 levels. The departure hall has 72 check-in counters and 20 departure gates. And as you can see, the airport's been upgraded over the years. We now have 2 parallel runways instead of just the run. One of them is ILS equipped, and we'll go into that in a moment. And as you can see, the airport sits in quite a stunning location here on the Red Sea coast. And again, from this shot you can see that the product itself sits very nicely into the default terrain, and you get this wonderful sort of desert and semi-development civilization look with the mountains in the background. So that's the history. It's been around for a while and it looks like a really good destination to go to. Let's talk runways. Okay, runways, as you can see, I've lowered the lighting. It's 10 to 6 in the evening local time. Hurghada International Airport operates 2 main parallel runways, 16 left, 34 right, and 16 right, 34 left, of equal length, both measuring 13,123 feet or 4,000 meters, and both are constructed from asphalt. The airport sits at an elevation of 109 feet or 33 meters and sits within the GMT UTC +2 hours time zone. Now, like the UK and many European airports, Hurghada observes daylight saving time and is currently 2 hours ahead of the UK, as both countries have moved ahead 1 hour for summertime. So, runway 16 left, 34 right, and we're looking down 16 left at the moment, has high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system and precision approach path indicators on both sides of the runway. So here we are looking at runway 16 right, and as you can see it has exactly the same. There's also centerline lighting on this runway, is the only additional thing, and here in the simulation they've left the full approach lighting system, which isn't available in full approach on 16 left. But pretty much the same, as you can see. So here we are looking at runway 34 left, the other end of the inland runway, and you can see exactly the same at the other end. PAPIs on both sides, centerline lighting, and you've got the extended approach light system, which isn't on the charts, but is provided in the sim, which I have no problem with. So here we are looking at runway 34 right in the northern direction, and again exactly as per the one 34 left there with the full lighting. The only thing that this runway doesn't have is the centerline lighting, which again is as per the charts. Really not sure why that is. I'd have thought the centerline lighting would be useful on both runways, but anyway, who am I to question? So approach options. Now all of these runways have RNP approach and VOR approach options, and this runway 34 right, the closest to the terminal system, has the standard instrument landing system available. There's also VOR on the field, Hotel Golf Delta at 116.5. As you can see, it looks beautiful in the sunset. You land at this time of the day, it's just going to be stunning. So that does it for runways. Let's have a look at jetways. Okay, jetways, so here is my aircraft on stand 71. Let's give the jetway a test and see how she does. Okay, nice modelling there, the wheels turn, which is good. In fact, the whole structure looks pretty good. The only thing we can see once again is the stairs have gone into the concrete here. That looks a bit high for a jetway. Yeah, that does look as though it's kind of missed the door. Let's go down and have a closer look. So there you can see the jetway has actually managed to go up to the side of the aircraft. The lower part hasn't infringed the door, or infringed the skin, which is quite good, but of course you can see the jetway is actually not properly connected. Let's look at it from the other side. So there you can see I've actually changed the view slightly to see how the door is, because it's now open, and that's actually not too bad. I mean, the jetway is a little too high. The animation I think needs to be adjusted. This is the PMDG Boeing 737. Again, let's go inside the doorway from the jetway and have a look and see what the view is. So here's the view from inside the jetway looking in towards the aircraft, and as you can see, the jetway is slightly misaligned vertically. Not a huge problem, but if I change the view slightly here, there you can see the door is completely infringed by the jetway. So whilst the connection is not really very good, I mean it is adequate, it's not the worst connection I've seen, but possibly with an update the jetway needs to be modelled. I think what I might do at another point is I might actually move the aircraft to a different jetway stand and see if the same thing happens. But just a quick look back towards the terminal, there you can see the interior of the jetway itself is actually quite nicely modelled, and that looks good. And there from the outside you can see the jetway, it looks perfectly fine. I would suspect it's probably very close to what's modelled at the real airport. Maybe somebody who's been here can tell me how accurate that jetway is, but it does look visually quite pleasing. It's been quite well modelled. Particularly things like this all fits really quite nicely. As I say, the only thing is that, as with many other jetways, the stairway goes into the concrete. But maybe with an update, if this is adjusted, then this would be brilliant. But I'll see if I can get a quick check-in at another stand before the end of this video. So let's disconnect the jetway. So the animation is quite nice, especially here. That's it, very nice. So there you go folks, there's the jetway test done, and as I said, I will try and get a quick testing at a different stand to see if this problem is just unique to 71 or whether it's the same with others. So that's your jetway test done. So here we are again, as promised. I thought I would try the jetway test again at a different stand. Here we are at stand 68, just a couple of doors down, and as you can see my aircraft is parked there correctly with the nose gear just slightly ahead of the 737 stand area there. So what I'm going to do is connect the tug and try and get the nose gear right onto the appropriate line, and then do the jetway test. So not sure where the noise is coming from, that sounds like a jetway alarm to me. However, here by this shot you can see I've got the nose gear line pretty much right on the line. There you can see Boeing 737-500 there, but that's not too bad at all. So now let's try this jetway, see if we have better luck. Now this looks like it might be a little bit better. Once again the stairs have gone into the concrete. No, it still looks a bit high, doesn't it? So there from this shot you can see the jetway is still exactly the same as the other one. So the jetways need to be fixed. I think it's the only fix I can see so far. But we'll obviously see if there are any more issues during the scenery tour to have a look. So there you go, second check at the jetway, we have the same problem. So before we start the main airport tour, let's start at the bottom, sort of south east corner of the airfield. Here you can see the military bunkers and hangars have been faithfully recreated with one or two models in them. There's really decent weathering as well on the buildings here, and they're really quite nicely modelled. And there's a close-up shot of one of the aircraft sitting there. It's typical Egyptian Air Force jet. And I really like the modelling, the way that is built and the weathering on it. So another hangar, this time it's empty. You've got some army vehicles there as well, so any of you military jockeys who want to operate out this airfield, you're covered for hangar space. And in fact, as you can see, there's actually another jet inside here. But if you look at the depth of the hangar there, and you've got the entrance from landside, there is room probably to park something else in here. But as you can see, the military area is nicely done, no real problems at all, so you combat jockeys are well catered for. So let's start a tour, let's head from south to north across the airside area and have a look at what's been done. So pretty much every little taxiway's been done, not all of them into the hangars there have been lined, but the main taxiways towards the airport are fully developed, no problem at all there at all, really. So here you're coming up to Apron 2, where you've got plenty of additional parking space. And there below us you've got the airside fence, nicely detailed. And they've done this pretty well. I mean, I like the concrete structure, and the weathering on it there. It looks really quite good. And just a quick shot there looking back across that extended parking area. You can see the ground signage is really clear, very well done. You've got this nice little building here that's been nicely modelled as well. The lighting stanchions are plenty of them, as per they should be. So going back airside again on the main ramp, here you can see this, I mean the texturing here is really quite nicely done and nicely weathered. Very similar to what's on the hangars down at the military area, but it's just been nicely done. Just a little bit of ground clutter, nothing too extensive. There you've got taxiway traffic lights we've just passed there. But here you can see the detail is really nice. It's been very nicely developed, right down to the ground textures. It just looks great. Here's my aircraft on stand 71. Just looks fine. It looks really nice. We just go in towards the airside road. There you go. Stand markings are nicely done, although they do start to blur a little bit as you get close. You look at some of the detail here. This airside road really looks great. You've done a lovely job here. Various baggage vehicles there. And looking in the other direction, I mean, you can see this is just very, very nicely done. Lots of detail, very, very nice. So going away slightly from the main ramp area, various other buildings, part of the cargo ramp. Again, just nice attention to the detail, especially the weathering. The weather really makes it look good. Here we got what looks like the fire station, I believe. It all looks nice. There's the fire tenders, and typically Egyptian, I might add. Various other buildings, bits and pieces, vehicles. It all looks really nice, very impressive. So while we're here, let's have a look at the control tower. There you can see in all its glory. Let's go inside and see if there's anything in. So there up close you can see pretty much opaque. And there inside, no internal development, but that's fine. So we continue the tour northwards, pretty much along the airside area. Plenty of clutter, ground markings look good, the ramp textures look brilliant. No real complaints. It's a lovely scenery so far, and you jet jockeys and commercial airline pilots alike have plenty here to give you that realistic effect. It's very nice. Visually it's a very immersive scenery, no real complaints, plenty of stuff, they've done a nice job. It's probably one of FSDG's really nicest sceneries. So there you've got the airside fence action there, and here we've got the main fuel farm, which is in the north-east corner of the airport. And again, plenty of detail. It looks fine, no complaints with that at all. Models are really nice. So let's look at landside now. Okay, apart from the odd straight line, I mean, this looks great. Here's the road system landside. The modelling is as per the real airport. Let's just get down a bit low and have a look at the landside area. Car models are really good. As you can see, they're very nice indeed. You've got signage there. This is Terminal 2, which I believe was the newer of the two. And you've got the details in Arabic as well. The only thing that's missing, people outside. But again, no complaints. I don't expect to see that in every scenery I look at. When it's there, it's nice. It adds to the immersion, especially when you're looking around a product like this. But for you pilots, it's not necessary. But a quick look at some of the details of the vehicles. They're all as they should be, fully Egyptian holiday coaches there. And the car models generally of a good quality. So various barriers, buildings, bits and pieces here and there. Well, this all looks good. It really does look nice. It's great, no real complaints. The markings, the textures are just great. Very nice indeed here. So here we are, landside of Terminal 1. I love the palm trees, and this has been nicely done. It's the sort of red brick concrete sort of thing there, which for me, it just does it. It sort of really works. So here's the landside entrance to the terminal, again beautifully modelled. Pity there's no people still standing around, but very nicely done. We're on the upper level here, and you know, visually it's great. It's just been really nicely done. I like it a lot. And you've got again the extension to the landside car park here. So a quick pass a little bit further landside so you can look at the road system and markings. Vehicles are nice. Some of the vehicles are not exactly placed in their parking spots, but that's not a great problem, to be honest. And if I come up a bit here, you can see the road system goes right the way out to the main highway there. And there's the main entrance building along with the various barriers. And there it is from landside. So coming into the airport, you can see they've even done the road signage, which I think is great. It's all very clear. It's a very nice product. It's a nice airport, nicely modelled, quite realistic and quite atmospheric, I must say. So we'll have a look at the inside of the main Terminal 1 here, which I believe has had development. And we'll start with the upper level. I do like this building, I have to say. So let's whiz inside and see what we can find. So as you can see from this shot, the internal part of the terminal is partly modelled. Only airside, the airside departures, the lounges, the thoroughfare with people there, you can see them to the right. We're going to have a close look in a minute. But here, the main body of the terminal, landside, is not developed, which is fine. Many developers choose to do it this way, and I have no problem with that. So a quick look at departures airside. Here you can see there is some development, and you've got some people. They're all static, but all looks really good. Upper level shops there. Okay, the photographs are not really high resolution enough to make it work, but we'll have a look through inside the cockpit at some point. But to be honest, that looks a little bit better. Again, these are really not quite as high resolution enough to make it work, but they're close. But it's nicely modelled, nicely done. Let's just have a quick tour down here. It's fine. It's very, very acceptable. Actually, thinking about it, might not be able to see very much here from the cockpit, and they might actually look better at night. But yeah, no problem at all there. As you can see, the whole thing carries on. Plenty of interesting modelling. I like the internal foliage, the trees. It looks good. It really does look nice. It's a very nice effort. It's really, really nice. It's a nice product. So a quick look at the taxiway, some of the signage. There you can see them built into the ground, no problem. You've also got blue airfield edge lights there. Don't see any centerline light markings, so we'll have a look in a bit. Now you've got the entrance to 3-4 right. At this midpoint, again, signage is more than acceptable. And looking back across the terminal, there you've got the appropriate skid marks as the aircraft turn off and enter the apron. So there you go, there's a quick daytime tour. A very extensive airport, lots of modelling, very little left to detail. The detail is really, really good, and certainly, in my opinion, is the best version of this airport we'll see so far. So let's turn the light down to dusk now and have a look at the lighting. Okay, 5 minutes to 6 PM local time, and you can see the lighting has come on. It actually came on 2 minutes ago. It looks nice from up here. It's quite subtle. All of the stand areas are quite nicely lit. We've got some green evidence of green centerline lighting there, even though we couldn't see the bulbs during the day. And of course the various signs on the ramp and taxiway are lit as well. Nice to see a few odd vehicles, not too many, but again with headlights and taillights lit. There looking north, this is runway 34 right in front of us, it doesn't have the centerline. And up there to the right you've got the additional stands, the cargo area and so on. And here we are looking southwest. Lovely view towards the mountains there. And finally to the southeast there to the coast and the military area hangars out there to the top. And here, as you can see, the additional stand parking areas. The lighting is good, provided by the stanchions as they should be there. Very acceptable. So let's take an airside ramp tour at dusk. Looks fine. It looks very fine there. There you can see green centerline lights to the left. Here you've got a taxiway crossing, and here you've got the what looks like traffic lights, but nothing on them. So just a little slow tour across the airside ramp. As you can see, lighting's fine. You can also see now into the airside departure lounges in the terminal. So that subtle lighting is really working well. No Asobo globes floating around. There's my aircraft. And yeah, all looks quite nice. Let's get a little bit closer to the terminal. And as you can see, the effect is quite impressive. There you can see the lower level as well. It's very nice. Lots of nice little subtle lighting here and there, a little bit of parallaxing. There's a control tower. There's a little bit of subtle reflective lighting on the outside there that sort of brings it to life just a little bit more. But all in all, I like it. The lighting is good. And here, as we get to the other additional Terminal 2 area. Okay, so as we get closer here, landside, you've got Asobo globes floating around, which is a pity. Particularly here, because they've got street lighting, so there really is no need for that. However, very nice. And again, as you can see, airside, really no problems at all. You've got plenty of lighting. There's a general view of the Terminal 2 to the left and the main terminal in the distance. Here you can see they've got a couple of high-speed runoffs as well. So you're well catered for here. So let's whip it down to night time, and we'll have a look at the airside ramp where we're parked, and we'll have a look landside as well to see how effective the lighting is. Okay, 9 PM and we're in the dead of night down here. As you can see, no sunset glows left at all. We're now into the darkness. So you've got some green centerline lighting at various points, but not everywhere. But so you'll be relying on your nose gear lighting at various points. So here's my aircraft parked on stand 71, and as you can see, the lighting all the way across here is perfectly adequate. Looks really good. They haven't overdone the internal lighting in the terminal, certainly as it appears from the outside. Let's quickly pop inside and see what it looks like. So again, very nicely done. The lighting is there, it's not overdone. Okay, so I can't really see where the light sources are coming from. You can see it glowing all over the roof, but you can't actually see any lights anywhere. But no problem at all, the effect is nice, especially from people looking in. And while we're on that subject, let's have a look at the view from the flight deck. So here we are inside the flight deck, looking straight out from the bar position on stand 71. And the view is perfectly acceptable. You can see into the terminal there, doesn't look too bad at all. Quick look out the captain's side, and a quick look outside the first officer's side. So no problems looking from inside to out, actually quite a nice view. So back inside the terminal again, as I said, the lighting is great, looks good, and the modelling is very, very nice. It's a really nice product, it's been well done. There's just one of the landside parking areas. And look at part of Terminal 1 from landside as well. And here's the landside road, the entrance to the airport. Some nice lighting, very subtle. And as we head back to airside again, now you can see the control tower looks a little bit more realistic with the glow on it caused by the lighting effect at night time. There's the fire station, and it's lit inside, which is really nice. So a quick pass back the other way while we do this. As you can see, the lighting on the building looks quite effective. The landside roads, car parks there. I mean, it just looks nice. No real complaints at all. Looks very, very nice indeed. So a quick look at dawn, looking from landside to airside. Okay, 5:45 in the morning local time, the sun's come up and it's behind me, and you get this nice red glow on the buildings. And it's nice. Again, you've got lovely effects here where the shadowing comes right across from the trees and bits and pieces here, that makes that look quite effective. There we are looking northwest towards Terminal 2. We've got the control tower slightly there to the left. And there's the airport entrance and the town of Hurghada and the sun rising in the distance. Okay, 8:30 in the morning local time, the sun is well up, and here we are looking at the airport in the early morning. Time to give you my conclusions and thoughts. Okay, big question, is it worth the price? Yeah, I think it is. Just about. It's on the higher end at nearly 26 euros. But remember, those prices include tax and VAT. There's enough in this model for me to think that yes, the price is probably worth it. You get quite a bit. But when you look at the default Hurghada is not brilliant. There's a freeware on flightsim.to that makes up for a lot. But this wave sort of blows that away. So for those of you who would like to fly in and around Egypt, this is yet another African continent airport. This is it. This is the best one you have so far. One of FSDG's better efforts, I have to say. One of their excellent efforts in the past was Mauritius, which I thought was excellent. Since then, they've kind of obviously moved across to FlightSim 2020, and their modelling skills have got better and better. They do decide to leave some things out and enhance other things, and that shows in the airport like this. But you know what you've got here is a nice airport, well modelled. So yeah, I think it probably is worth the price, sort of just about. They've done enough, I think, to justify that price. As I said, you guys are going to need to be careful about where you purchase this. My experience was, as I said, I do have an account with FSDG online, having purchased sceneries for P3D and so on in the past. Looked at the price for this scenery, saw it was 24.99 euros, which is a little bit less than the Simmarket advertised price, and the moment I logged in it added 69% VAT and whacked it up to nearly 35 odd euros. So I'm not sure what your experience is going to be, but if you do have an online account, log in and see what happens. But if it does happen to you, you'll note that it's at least 10 euros cheaper on Simmarket then, and I'll leave it up to you as to where you make your purchase. I was a bit shocked by that. They really shouldn't be defaulting to a large tax increase. It should vary depending on where you buy it. If anybody has any experience of that outside the UK, I'll be interested to hear. If you have an account and you've logged in, and see what happens to the price when you log in. Perhaps you'd let me know in the comments. But I think it's nice. It's certainly the best rendition of Hurghada you've got for the moment. It fits well with the default terrain. There are various points of interest around which I've chosen not to look at in this review. I leave them for you to discover. So there you go, folks. Hurghada International Airport in Hurghada, Egypt. Hotel Echo Golf November. To Payware scenery by the FlightSim Development Group, better known as FSDG, you're looking at version 1 for the PC version of FlightSim 2020. Download is 574 meg, and it installs at just over 1.4 gigs. It's available from both Simmarket and the FSDG online shop, and as I said, beware the caveats with regard to purchasing on the online shop. Simmarket price currently €25.20, which equates to roughly $27 US, or £21.62 UK. Those prices include VAT, their conversions from the euro, and the VAT and tax may vary depending on which country you're in when you make the purchase. It is on the high side in terms of cost, but I think there's probably just enough here to justify that price. So folks, thanks for joining me. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with a quick review, but basically at the request of a subscriber. So join me next week. All being well, we'll have 2 reviews where we're going to be looking at Sofia, Bulgaria by APRON. I've been sent a copy by that very kindly by them to look at it, and also one of my favourite places to fly out to in the Far East, Langkawi, which is an island about 35 minutes northwest of Kuala Lumpur. And we're going to be looking at the shade scene version, which I purchased. There are versions by another vendor out there, and some freeware, but the shade scene team really have done a job, and you'll get to see that next week when we look at them. So Sofia in Bulgaria, Lima Bravo Sierra Foxtrot by AURPORT. I've got the product. We'll have a close look at that, and we'll also look out in the Far East and go and have a look at Langkawi Island, which is a place I've been many years ago. So thank you for joining me. Thanks to the subscriber who asked to have this review. It's really kind of you to come back to me and suggest it. It's a lovely airport, place I've flown into a couple of times before, and a nicely done product. So if you've been on the fence about this, like this subscriber has, I hope this review has helped you. So thanks a lot, guys. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again. As I said, hope to be back to normal next week with a couple of review videos, and we'll try and get an adventure video in somewhere as well. So take care, folks. I'm pushing hard to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys out there know anybody who'd be interested in these kind of reviews, please push them towards my channel. Website hopefully will be updated tomorrow, Sunday, for the week's coming events, and I shall put some bits and pieces on my Instagram account. Thanks folks, you take care, have a great weekend, bye for now.